taken to order. The invocation given by Gary Stewart, pledge of allegiance given by myself.
We pray with our Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the many blessings you've given us. We ask now that you watch over these proceedings and they'll be pleasing in your sight. We ask that you watch over the citizens and all the employees of Scottsboro. Watch over our country and watch over our military. Bring them home safely to their families. Guard, guide, and direct us so in the end when we all come to thee. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Phillips, will you do a roll call, please?
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Wallingsford?
Here.
Mr. Gary Stewart?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Patrick Stewart?
Here. We'll go to the adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Now we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Next item is approval of the previous minutes from July 25th, 2016. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Make the motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Now we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
There is no old business, so we'll go to new business. The first item on tonight's agenda is Gary Morgan regarding Riverside Church. Gary.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Council members, mayor, citizens of Scottsboro, I always appreciate the opportunity to speak for you. I've been coming up here 2 or 3 times now on property management issues. I do not come up here just to hear myself speak or to practice my elocution. I don't do that. I'm here because I believe there's important issues involved here. Mr. Smith mentioned last week he didn't understand why anyone would be objectionable to the Riverside Church deal. And I'm actually not objectionable to that deal either. But there's some issues involved in the property management of Scottsboro. And this is another issue. And the question I have to place forward here as a concerned citizen, should the city of Scottsboro be embroiled in worship? Should the city of Scottsboro be embroiled in leasing a church, leasing property to a church? In this case, the church is a Christian church. I believe it's a Baptist church. Good folks there. There's no doubt about that. But you got to question, what is the role of government? Is the role of government to support churches? Is the role of government to repair churches when there's something wrong with the church? No. In the Constitution, particularly in Alabama, makes specific mentions of you can't repair churches. Now, I realize in Scottsboro, the Riverside Church has a lease with the city of Scottsboro. But, I mean, if you're going to lease property to religious institutions, you're going to be fair about it? If another religious institution comes in here, such as worshiping voodoo, or Satanism, or Hinduism, are you going to allow them to lease property from the city of Scottsboro as well to conduct their worship services? Now, it's not a problem until somebody makes it an issue, right? I mean, this is not a problem unless somebody comes forward and sues the city for breaching the Constitution, either the state of Alabama Constitution or the United States Constitution. And in the United States Constitution, there's something called the lemon test, and that's versed in, and that is the U.S. Supreme Court of the United States had a decision, Lemon versus Kurtzman. And there's 3 tests there in that test, and I've outlined it in this papers I gave you. Number 1 has a significant secular purpose. In other words, what you're doing as a government entity, is there a secular purpose? And what you're doing as a government entity, you got to ask yourself the question, does not have the primary effect of advancing or inhibiting religion. And 3, does not foster excessive entanglement between government and religion. And I would think in all three of those questions that you don't meet any of the tests if this comes to be an issue. You know, does the city of Scottsboro really want to become entangled in leases? I guess this is the primary question to religious institutions. I mean, and then the church they're going to be spending with this recent renovation near $300,000 to renovate that building. Now that's quite a deal for the city of Scottsboro. Since the city of Scottsboro, the people are the owners of that building. But why would a church spend $300,000 to renovate a piece of city property? That's something that I guess within the membership of the church they got to ask. But within the secrecy that has occurred within property management within the city of Scottsboro, since there's been issues that should have came before this city council and they haven't, is there something secret that's being planned for the church? Or some folks planning to donate this property to the church? I don't know. But to furnish city property to an institution for worship, I think it's wrong. And however y'all feel about it, that's up to you. It's your decision. It's not my decision. I'm just up here as a concerned citizen expressing my concerns about this issue. I appreciate your time.
Does anyone have any questions? Bruce Morgan?
I can tell you how I feel about it. I voted for it every time they wanted to do something. You know, you may not agree with it. I see nothing wrong with it. It benefits the city. Again, we've told it 10 times we're going to tear the building down, and they've saved it. Someday they'll probably go somewhere and build a big church somewhere, and we'll come back to the city of Scottsboro. There's lots of things we can do with it at that point. I know of no one who's discussed donating that building to this church. But I didn't hear, I don't remember you complaining when we gave a business in town, we didn't do it, but prior to us, a recycling business for $1 a year. And that didn't seem to bother anybody, but they can do recycling, but we can't do religion. That doesn't make sense to me, and I think you're wrong about everything you said about it.
Mr. Smith, I hear what you're saying. Like I said, that's your decision. We disagree on that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We'll go to item number 2, consider the approval of the Riverside Church renovation. We were here last week and discussed the changes between $180,000 and $200,000 of improvements to that building. So that I have a motion to approve the Riverside Church renovation. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? If not, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Next item is consider the resolution landscaping on Veterans Drive. Was also talked about last week. I have a motion to approve the resolution for landscaping on Veterans Drive.
I make it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I will vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Next item is to consider the resolution of rural area public transportation program, local matching funds. It's in the packet. Do I have a motion to approve that resolution? This transportation program, local matching funds.
I make the motion.
Second. Any discussion?
And this is just saying that we're going to apply for the grant, right?
No, it's where you're committing to put this.
Our portion.
Yes.
Okay. Which I've got $58,880. 20%, is that our match? Yeah, 20% match is $11,776.
And if they don't get their grant, we don't have to.
I think they have a commitment out there, grant for it. It will be done.
I think there was a little misunderstanding there. It's not a 20% of that amount, the amount,
$47,535.
that was the amount that had been given last year for the transportation, and then
Then the 20%
20%
of,
for the bus.
which is $11,325.
You're committing to fund them like you have in the past.
Okay.
And
Okay.
20%,
Okay.
which is approximately the same number as 58.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's-
Didn't mean to cause confusion.
Any other discussion? Not gonna vote on, favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Go to reports, Mayor,
I don't have anything.
Ms. Watson.
Thank everybody for being here tonight. I don't have anything.
Mr. Stewart.
I don't have anything to do.
Mr. Smith.
We discussed, a moment ago, we're going to put the, property transition on the agenda next week.
Work session.
And
Yes.
then following that, we'll put it on the council president, and council meeting the following week.
Mr. Miller.
That's the property for the rescue squad, is that correct, Mr. Smith?
Yes.
For the.
Rescue squad.
To go back to the rescue
Okay.
squad, yes.
I don't have anything else.
I just have a couple of things. I was asked to go speak, do the welcoming speech for the fishing tournament this past weekend. It was the Junior World Championship. And I grew up fishing. My dad was a huge fisherman. And we got up there on stage and Brent was there. There was, 400 people at least there. I was already nervous to begin with. And I got up there and looked down and I saw Forest Hill Woods and Hank Martin. He was there. Anyway, had a good time. Welcomed everybody. It had a huge economic impact for the city of Scottsboro. I'd like to thank Victory Lanes as well. They've done a lot to help the community. And they had a pizza party for all the kids. There was 42 states, 37 states represented. And it was in conjunction with the FLW tour over in Huntsville. And if you watched the news any this weekend, you saw where they were promoting it. It's a huge deal. And those kids were super excited. The parents were happy to be here in Scottsboro too. They help our economy. I want to thank them for doing that. And then the other thing was, I heard today that the Boys and Girls Club got a $5,000 grant to help the furnishings for the teen center. I was going to bring it here on that board, you know, might have seen anything.
We were told by the Suzanne, the lady who came from Huntsville, from Boys and Girls Club, that they had been awarded a $5,000 Bond Foundation grant, which will help cover out, I believe, James, it's furnishings for the teen center. And I know the city was looking into getting some estimates on it. I don't know if, Mayor, do you know if we've got any of the estimates? I think Eddie was working on
Or
the teen center, doing renovations.
actually, talked to Mr. Stevens, we gave him contact,
Okay.
and contacting the estimates because it was above what we could do within the house. And so that's the last I heard, that Mr.
Okay.
Stevens was going to get an estimate, and I don't know if he has one.
Okay. And I don't think at the meeting today they had the estimate, but they also, Suzanne said that they're applying for was it $30,000 or $50,000 grant, Google grant for the STEM to provide computers and technology and whatnot. So I know the Bond Foundation money has to be spent by May of next year. I think they're supposed to hear from Suzanne or from Google by the end of the year, by December, on if they get that $50,000. But I I would like us to try to, maybe I can get with James and Mr. Stevens on, seeing if we can get some estimates on finishing that, if we can possibly include that in the budget for this coming year, since we're working on the budget within the next month. Because if they don't use that money for that specific thing that they applied for, then they lose that $5,000.
Sounds good. Thank you. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make it motion.
Have a second? Second. Discussion. Now we'll vote, all in favor say aye.
Aye.